Good morning and welcome back to Community Couch Time. I'm Ms. Guadalupe Carrasco Cardona, and I'm going to come to you daily with topics that we should be talking about, things that are happening globally, things that are happening nationally, things that are happening in our community, but most importantly, things that we oftentimes don't talk about. And the question is, why shouldn't we? And the thing that's really amazing is that we get to share our perspectives with another amazing human being, Miss Tiffany Wallace.
Good morning, great minds and good people. I'm Miss Tiffany Wallace, and thank you for having me for Community Couch Time. Now, let's start the discourse.
Good morning. Welcome back to Community Couch Time. How are you, Miss Wallace?
I'm doing great, Miss Cardona. Just trying to figure out ways to stay positive, get through this situation, and look on the bright side. How are you doing?
I'm doing well as well. Just cooking and doing other little projects around the house with my family. So that's been great. Yeah.
That's awesome. I wanted to show you a video of a sport that I play called Ultimate Frisbee. And it's like football. It's like football, soccer, basketball, like all into one. Because you have two end zone and the object is to score in the other end zone, like football.
Yeah.
But you can't run with the Frisbee. So like you have to run, you catch it, and then you stop. And it's like basketball where you're pivoting around a defender who's trying to guard you, and you just advance up the field. All your other teammates are running,
you can't travel. So running with it would be like traveling.
It's exactly what it's called.
Traveling. Okay, cool.
Traveling. So I wanted to show you some of my favorite players, twins as well, Manuela and Valeria Cardenas, who are amazing.
But it was also exciting to see your response. Like your reactions to it was really, really cool. So
I've seen this video so many times. I just get really hype and it makes me feel emotional because, they're not a wealthy team. A lot of teams, Frisbee itself is not very diverse. There's been strides to make it more diverse. I myself have captained team called Solidarity. My sister created a team called Black Lives Hammer. There's the Color of Ultimate that brings together different people of color from around the world to play together. And so during when they were wearing the pink jerseys or the red jerseys, Revolution, this was in 2017, and they actually won the championship that year.
Wow.
Against all these teams that have years of dynasties of winning tournaments. They have different POC, but not like this, where it's like all the women. And then even Black woman, Elizabeth Mosquera, she's like incredible, has one of the best pulls. It's kind of like a kickoff in football. Mm-hmm. One of the best men or women or mixed. There's also mixed ultimate. So different genders can play against each other, however you identify on the gender spectrum, non-binary, trans, you can play. So it's really quite amazing. I'll have to show you some of my photos of when I've done incredible things, but during this time of quarantine, like I really think about coming back stronger, being stronger. I jog in my house 20 minutes, 2 times a day, just like in place jogging, not like around and around, but like I can make a little space and then like jog, and I was going to watch a whatever, TV show, Netflix, something anyway. So I figure I'm going to just work out while I'm watching these things. And I set a timer to make sure that I do that, and try to add salads to my meals. And
right. What we did here in our house is we purchased for our bikes, because we used to do a lot of biking before. We'd go out to the beach or different paths, but we were trying to be careful and not do that. So we purchased these like kits that you can put under the wheels of your bike, so you turn your actual bikes into like stationary bikes. So we're doing that as well, like putting on a movie, and when the movie's over, we'll stop biking, or listening to Democracy Now! Like once the whole episode is over, then we stop biking. And so yeah, we've done little things like that also to try to come back stronger. I'm not gonna lie, I need to do a lot more, because sitting and being on the computer a lot more than before it's not been good. But I'm really curious, like, to know when you first found that passion of ultimate frisbee, like what was it that it did for you?
Well, I liked it because people were very welcoming and very patient. In terms of my athletic background, I come from running track when I was in middle school, not for the school, but private clubs that my mom had found, because just kind of for a lot of inner city youth running. And I played volleyball for high school. I really loved that. That was the first love of sport that I ever had, where I love this and I want to do it. And so then when I went into college, I was like, I don't know if I'm really feeling the volleyball kind of scene. I just didn't feel like it was as like welcoming as I wanted. It just wasn't the vibe. It wasn't the emotional connection that I had felt, that I wanted to continue. And so, I did landscaping for school. I did other things. I wanted to be physical. But then it wasn't until Frisbee where I had a friend who I was on the debate team, and she played women's ultimate. And she was like, okay, well, we'll just switch it up. Like, I'll join debate team and you play Frisbee. She didn't join the debate team. But my last year.
That's great.
But my last year I played Frisbee, and it was incredible. I traveled around and I played pickup games in New York. My sisters played in Venezuela. There's a website, pickupultimate.com, and you can find sports all over the world, like the world, literally, pickup games. And so anybody can come play. If you have a disc, soccer cleats or football cleats help, because you want to make cuts and make them kind of sharp. So I just love, people are very warm and welcoming and friendly. Of course, not everyone is like that. And there are some instances of racism that I've had to like fight and compete with. But what I'm finding is as we go on, it's not just me, the lone person like talking smack or whatever, defending. We're like getting our crew together, and more people are doing that. And other tournaments, you'll see like Black Lives Matter rather, headbands, because people are getting more conscious and more POC players are coming in. So I just love it. I love it.
I personally have not found a sport that I love like that. But what I did find was my son, my youngest son, Mateo, is a natural athlete. So any ball or any athletic event that he joins, he excels in. And it's really kind of cool because he's on the short side. And so he's kind of like that secret weapon, right? That, they kind of disregard him, and then he comes in and he kicks butt, and he's always like first pick after that. But my older son, who's now 25 years old, and I'll go ahead and share a picture of him, a football picture from back in high school. He was really kind of mediocre at sports until he found football, and football became his love. He played it like pickup games. He did 7-on-7 in the summers. And then he played always for his high school team. And he was always playing like varsity games, even when he was a freshman, because he was just really good and dedicated. And I understood at the point that I became a football mom that sports are important. They're really important. I think a lot of times people don't respect what athletes do. That, it's just a game kind of mentality. And in the bigger scheme of things, yes, it's just a game. But I also saw how being an athlete and it helped my son keep his body healthy. It helped him be inspired to push himself further. And it kept him positive. I know that he did well in high school, even when there were times that he didn't want to. And it was because of, he wanted to make sure he could qualify to play. I'm grateful for athletics. I know not everyone is an athlete, and that's okay too. Like like I said, I've never picked up a love of a sport, but I definitely have respect for what sports can do for people. Definitely.
And they pushed a lot of politics and social issues like Kaepernick and other people who fought, Mexico 1968, when Carlos and them had the fist up that you see. So there have been anti-fascist leagues across Europe fighting against Nazism and Mussolini in Italy. And it's a really significant way to bring people together and to organize folks around like something that's very positive. So I really love it. Actually, we helped overturn a frisbee ban that they were trying to enforce. It was a years old frisbee ban, so you couldn't play frisbees on the beach. And the LA Board of Supervisors was like, well, we never, enforced it. And it was like, well, why would you want a law that you don't enforce or that you hope doesn't get enforced? So myself, the team, we got everyone to sign on. Another person who plays Ultimate, she's an attorney. So we all we went to the LA Board of Supervisors and we spread our case, and they're like, okay, sorry, our bad, and then stop that. So the politics can kind of invade your sport in some ways. But it's a good way to bring people together. And, I am not perfect in my own working out, but I'm just trying to adjust, be kind to myself. If I need to have a treat, be okay with it, but also try and have a plan to keep myself healthy, exercise and eating right at the same time. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So yeah, well, for community couch time, I would like to ask you all a question. What is a way that you want to come back stronger after this quarantine, after this period of isolation? How do you want to come back strong? What do you want to do to further your goals, either your physical goals or mental goals? Please let us know.
In la catch.
In la catch.